Is Jim Spacuzza. Jim, welcome, Big 550 KTRS.
Hey, thank you. Appreciate you having us.
You are the CEO of CrisisGo. Also here is Bill Reynolds. He's a manager for CrisisGo. What is CrisisGo?
Well, CrisisGo is a mobile emergency response app for school districts. Back in February of this year, Barrington School District 220 asked us to look at taking their emergency plan from their 3-ring binder,
Right.
put it on their phones and their pads. So working with them, we discovered they needed 2 things: better communication during a crisis, and all that stuff that's in that 3-ring binder, they needed it where they were going to be.
Right.
And they always had their phones with them.
Right.
So what we did is we built a system with them, working with the IASA, the Illinois Association of School Administrators, and we took all that information, formatted it, made it actionable, put it on their phones and pads, and built in a communication tool set so that now during a crisis they can communicate more effectively. They can reach those resources that they need, like checklists, maps.
So in other words, God forbid somebody comes in with a gun and you're hiding under a desk, you can open up your app and say, I'm under the desk in room 24.
Exactly. And the system is smart because you work with your local law enforcement at the school district, and you build your plan. You then push it to your phones and pads. So it's your school district's plan on your phones and pads, only your response group. You know, kids are out there tweeting and Facebooking your
Right.
responses.
So if I go to PS 125, I'm only getting PS 125 comments and apps and questions and comments and changes and everything else.
Yes, because that's your plan.
Well, that's about as brilliant as it gets.
Well, thank you.
When did you
Really,
when did
it
you
is.
realize there was the aha moment?
You know, when people looked at it and said, you know, this is so simple,
Right.
why didn't we think of it?
Right.
You know, we knew.
Okay, so let's get to you're having what's going on today?
Okay, we're having a meeting with at least 50 people from school districts in the St. Louis area, and working with Education Plus, we're introducing CrisisGo to them. And this is going to be an informative meeting. We're also going to work with them to try to understand the needs of the school districts in the St. Louis market,
Right.
and see if CrisisGo is a good fit for their school district in terms of making their plans actionable, accessible.
Education Plus is what?
Education Plus is a consortium of school districts in this region that help promote best practices.
Right. So you've been asked by this Education Plus to come and speak to more high schools and school districts to find out more about CrisisGo.
Yes, all their partners we've been invited to talk to.
How much does this cost?
It's a pretty affordable app, you know, between $1 and $1.25 per student per year, and it's very simple to execute and implement within a school district. And we put amazing tools in their hands, you know, that allow them to message and communicate using video, audio, text, just like you would expect, right?
So if I'm a mother or a father, I can have this app as well, and I can communicate, or they can communicate with me. So God forbid, and I'm talking worst case scenario here, but snow days, power outages, floods. We're letting out early. We have Joey wins the school award for best high school high jump. All of those things can be incorporated on this app.
Yeah, they can be, but we tend to keep it focused really on the crisis management, because when the alarm goes off on this, it sounds unlike anything else, so that you stop what you're doing and you address this.
How many districts have taken advantage of this and have signed up for it?
We started out in Illinois in September of the last year, 2013. We have over 20 districts now engaged in different stages of their implementation. We created a partnership with the Minnesota Association of School Administrators, and we continue to expand throughout the U.S. this year, 2014.
Are you a tech guy? Are you a programmer? Are you the money guy?
I spent 20 years in the educational software business along with Bill. And
Bill actually talks too much.
I know.
This guy.
Yeah, with Bill, and we sold different educational software via the web. And Bill's actually the one who found this opportunity. Go ahead.
And, Jeff Arnett, he was actually.
I need you to talk right into the microphone.
Jeff Arnett, he was former communication director for Rockwood School District back in the late 90s.
Right.
He had called me and approached me with this idea, and I had turned to Jim, and Jim had been in the technology business for some years, and through that we formed CrisisGo.
Yeah. Is it as simple as calling you up and signing an agreement? And how long after that agreement is signed will I be able to use the app with the school?
Well, what we find out is that school districts need to go through a couple phases. They can sign up immediately. They can download the app from iTunes Store or on Google Play, very simply. But what we then help them do is that their plans right now, most plans are not actionable. And so we have to take them through a process. When I say actionable, the plan reads like a book,
Right.
like a paragraph. We take those paragraphs and break them into action steps.
So you're more or less triage. You've seen all of these action plans. You can say that doesn't work. That's ridiculous. This is working. This is how they handle that problem over there. So you become a resource in this crisis management, more or less.
Yes, and what we really do is we say, here's what school districts are doing around the country.
Right.
Here's what you need to talk about this with your local law enforcement.
How different are the apps between one school to another? Are they exactly the similar? Do different schools have different problems, or are they all basically the same?
They have many of them have different icons within their app that make theirs different, but they all can accomplish the same goals.
Is it going to be school specific, or are you going to talk to different companies too?
There's opportunity.
Maybe down the road?
Right now, we're focused on education.
Okay.
But
Is it each individual school, or is it a school district? So would you go to St. Louis Public School, or would you go to like a high school within St. Louis School?
Yeah, we would actually go through the district and maintain the relationship at the district level, although each individual school could
Then download their own app.
Yeah, and it's not something that if you were to go to the App Store and download yourself, that you could.
I couldn't do it because I'm not part of the school
yeah,
system.
you'd have to have a username and password specific.
How do people find out more information?
real easy. Go to www.CrisisGo.com, and from there you can call us. You can download a trial if you're a school district.
CrisisGo.com.
And try it out yourself.
All right, good. When you're on the cover of Time Magazine, are you going to forget about us, or are you going to come back and talk to us?
No, McGraw, we're going to come right back here, and we're going to do this
all right.
again.
But Bill needs to talk less. He took up all the time here. Jim Spacuzza, CEO of CrisisGo. Bill Reynolds, thank you very much. Fascinating stuff.
Thanks, guys.
Hey, thank you.
You.